would be when I pitched to over 200 people. It was a huge, it was Airbnb, but for stuff, right? So it was, and Airbnb didn't turn their first dollar until 7 years of operating, and we weren't even really operating. I actually met Buzz Aldrin. He was on this first. Yeah. And that same day, I met President Ford and his wife.
Wow. Based on what you've been through, what would that career advice be? Welcome to The Business Game, a podcast that moves the needle. Hey guys, before we get started today, just a really quick moment to thank one of our sponsors, SmoothX. Their integration platform connects Proposal, Xero, QuickBooks, and more. Trusted by over 1,000 clients globally, and you can be operational in under 30 minutes. Visit smoothx.com to simplify your workflows, and thanks again to SmoothX for sponsoring The Business Game.
Hello and welcome to The Business Game, a podcast that moves the needle. Before we get started today, make sure you like and subscribe wherever you're listening. I'm Lisa DeAngelis.
I'm Steve Plummer.
And today we're having a chat with our very own Kalena Stano, our brand new co-host. How are you going, Kalena?
I'm well, thank you.
Hey,
Hello.
Kalena, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, let's get straight into it.
Yes.
Hey? So, Kalena, tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got here.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So I was actually, I believe, one of the first people to be interviewed.
The first.
Yeah.
Wow.
The first.
Yeah. And at the time, it was the tech panel, because at the time I was trying to start a tech company myself. I am not a tech person at all. I had a vision and I gave it 3 years and it was super exciting. And and then I was taking a break. I had a baby and just decided to let the rest of the year just take it slow and see what surfaced. Then I got a phone call from
me?
From Lisa.
From me.
I
I believe you got many phone calls.
correction.
Yeah.
Almost
appreciate
stalking.
that.
It's almost stalking, right?
I appreciate that
She's a bit
diplomacy.
like that,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
Invited me to come in and potentially be a host. And I thought, that actually sounds really fun, getting to interview people in business, which I love. I'm super passionate about. So I saw it as a really great opportunity, and here I am.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know what? After the very first day that you came in and we had the chat, after I hunted her down, we had decided that we wanted Kalena and we went after Kalena.
Yeah.
But yeah, after the very first day that you came in and we had our little meet and greet and we're ready to go. And then I came in here and actually saw your photo on the back of the door.
Yeah.
There's no one else on the back of that door, just Kalena from, the very first guest that the podcast had here. So it's all come full
The
circle.
serendipity, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The weave of the universe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, awesome. So, I mean, obviously that's how you got here. You've had this massive turning point in your career as well.
Yes.
You know, the process of you're with Lendy, which was your startup, which is when we interviewed you. This massive turning point to come and end up here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Certainly not something I saw for myself, but
Yeah, awesome.
I'm all for just saying yes and seeing where it goes.
Absolutely.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. What was the process of sort of leaving Lendy like? I mean, something that you've poured so much into.
Yeah.
It was really hard. I was very, very passionate about what I was building, and it just made so much sense to me, and it still does. But I think in tech, there is a lot of, there's very high expectations with tech these days. And so if you're a bootstrap startup and you can only if you're running an MVP, people are like, oh, where's the app? Where's this? And it's just very demanding.
Right.
And so that sort of took its toll. But letting go was really hard. By the time we've been let down so many times, which is just the story of a startup. And there's so much learning that happens there. But by the time everything was ready, I felt that I had lost so much of my energy and enthusiasm for the project. And then I'd just given birth. And I thought, you know what? And we just kept hitting those roadblocks. I got to just surrender and just let my ego go a little bit and just tie it off. So,
surrender for a little while and see what happens.
And I actually had a really beautiful friend ring me after I made the announcement. And she's like, you can just tie it off in a pretty little bow and you can come back later. Don't think of it. It doesn't have to be a goodbye. She's like, you've done a lot of the hard work. Just take a second. Don't think of it as a forever. If it doesn't have to be. You never know. So that was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kalena, did that feel like a failure almost? And if so, what was the process to, I guess, work through that? Because it's so easy to say, oh, I'll just move on, or but at least in my experience, it's never quite that easy, right? Easy to say, not so easy to do. So can you talk us through how that went for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I struggle. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So like even going and doing something like Lendy
Yeah.
was pretty outrageous for me because I'm one of those people, it's not like a great trait, but I normally don't engage in something unless I
Right.
know I'm going to be really good at it.
Yeah.
Like for an example, I played some Outback, the Christmas Day, backyard cricket.
cricket,
Yeah.
Mhm, yes.
Okay, from America, don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
how.
Yeah.
And
We're
I
not
asked for
judging.
yeah, but I'm very sporty. I love soccer.
Yeah.
I'm very
Right.
athletic. I love that. I love sport, but I like to be good at sport.
Right.
And so I was like, can someone give me some ground rules? And they're like, it's just backyard. Like, there's no real rules. And I was like, okay. So I hit it and I throw the bat and and started running. And they're like, no. Anyway, tantrum, the whole thing. I was not. So to go and do something
Yeah,
where
right.
I'm not tech savvy, that was huge for me. And then, I did feel like a failure when I
Yeah.
finished, and there was this huge processing that had to go through. And I was like, you know what? No, I went out on a limb and I created something from nothing. And I had that idea for a really long time. And it didn't happen straight away. And I read all the self-development books and all the, did all the
Yeah.
meditating and things to really come to terms with it and find peace in it and be proud of myself.
Mhm.
Because there's so many people who don't execute their
Yeah,
dreams
yeah.
and don't give it a go. And so I'm at that place now where I'm like, no, I'm really proud of myself for building something from nothing. All on my
Amazing.
own. That was,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that, find peace with myself in amongst that, because success is never a straight line, right? There are always bumps on the road and all of those sorts of things. And I think that's a really important part of the life journey is being at peace with where you're at. So
Absolutely. And a lot of the entrepreneurs that I really look up to, all their messaging is you got to know when to quit, and you got to failure
Yep.
is part of the process.
Yeah.
You don't just get success without hitting those big bumps and coming to terms with. So get good at failing.
Mhm. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is. I think also we've talked about this, amongst ourselves as well, that we each came from, set career paths that we had chosen. So I obviously came from a career in music. Steve came from his previous life as a teacher.
Yep.
Obviously, then you've come from Lendy. There are also just different stages of your life, that you move
Yes.
through, and you learn so much out of it. And also, because I don't want to put pressure on you.
Yes.
But if and when you decided that you're like, it's time for Lendy,
Yeah.
maybe you're doing it down the track 5 years from now when you've spent all this time on a podcast hearing from all these business mentors,
Yeah.
and you've actually go in being like, okay, I see where my bottlenecks were, I see where the problems were, and there's no such thing as wasted time, I don't think.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's such an opportunity to learn from the experts and people who've been through it. It's such an opportunity, and I really I believe in serendipity and the universe and all those things. Things happen for a reason. And so when you called, I went, this is an opportunity. This is a gift. This is what I've been asking for. I wanted to have more knowledge because I know I went in so blind. And even if I were to go back in with the knowledge that I learned over the 3 years, I'm like, oh, I could do this so much easier and pay a
Right.
lot less money. And,
Yes.
it
It's
just
always
makes
pay a lot less money, isn't it?
that is a real pain point for it. Yeah. And so this is just, I'm really excited. There's already so much that I'm learning already. So.
Hey guys, just a quick break to thank our affiliate partner, HubSpot. We are thrilled to announce our partnership with HubSpot, the ultimate all-in-one CRM platform. HubSpot helps you streamline marketing, sales, and customer service with powerful tools to grow your business faster. From lead generation to automations, it's got you covered. By using the link in the description, you not only get to start your HubSpot journey for free, but you'll also be supporting our work here on the show. Now it's back to today's episode. So just on that, Kalena, the wisdom of experience, if you could go back to give your younger self rather, one piece of career advice based on what you've been through, what would that career advice be?
Oh, There's a few, but I think the big one would be to trust yourself and trust your instincts. I
Yeah.
think that that's a big one
Yeah.
because there's so many moments that I can pinpoint where I had like an initial yes or no. Mostly the no's. You feel the no's, but then you convince yourself because you're so determined to get
Yeah.
to
Yes.
go fast, make things happen. And you sort of convince yourself, okay, no, I'll deal with I'll figure it out. But I can't remember who said it, but if it's a no, it's a no. Unpack the details later.
Mm.
You don't just trust yourself. So for me, I think that would be a big one. But just back myself,
Yeah.
know that I've got the inner intuition of, okay, this is yes, this is no. It just flow with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me.
I think also that can be a really tricky thing, especially if you're an entrepreneur or you're self-employed or you're leading something. It can be so difficult, say between listening to advice and grind culture and your own
Yeah.
inner voices.
Yes.
It can be so tricky as well to differentiate between what's my actual no, like what's a gut instinct yes or no,
Yes.
and what is me convincing myself that this is the right thing to do because it seems like it should be, or am I feeling the fear and doing it anyway, or am
Yeah.
I actually saying no and I'm not listening to
Yeah.
myself?
Totally. I
Really
have to
tricky.
you really do have to. And I think that comes to really grounding yourself and finding that inner peace and just remembering that the world is always going to be chaotic around you. But if you can tap into your inner knowing, that's when you're going to really be able to guide through those moments. But yeah, even like you said, the noise and like that hustle culture of like just do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
that's
caught
an
right into it.
That's
I'm
an
like,
entrepreneurial thing,
It
right?
is,
Like
yeah.
that's the business world, the entrepreneurial world. If
It
you're not
is.
out there hustling and crushing it, you're kind of slack.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which can feel really overwhelming when you are trying to build something that needs time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're like, oh, I can't, or if you don't have the financial means or, the team behind you, so I can't move that fast,
Yeah.
especially in particular for Lendy. I can only speak to Lendy because that was my experience, but we were focusing on a behavioral change. It was a huge, it was Airbnb, but for stuff, right? So it was, and Airbnb didn't turn their first dollar until 7 years of operating. And we weren't even really operating. Like we were still just testing the market, finding our market fit. So it was a long road ahead, but
Yeah.
there was the people I was surrounding myself with, they were in different style of business. So there was this real push
Right.
for hustle. But I'm like, I don't think we can rush this. But it's just finding that balance. It's very complicated.
Really tricky.
It is really
Yeah.
tricky. All while my husband was working away and I had my kids and
Yeah.
so there was a lot of shuffling.
Yes. Yeah. What for you, Kalena, has been your biggest achievement so far? Like when you think about it, what do you think? Wow, I'm really proud of that.
Well, bringing Lendy to life in total was a huge achievement for me, especially putting that out into the universe in front of all my friends and family and the Sunshine Coast, like having that exposure and just going for it was huge and really scary. And you're doing it on live stream from the beginning and exposing all of the elements of the process. But I think a key moment from that would be when I pitched to over 200 people. It was my first ever pitch.
Wow. And
ever.
No pressure to over 200 people. Yeah.
Talk about fearing failure,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think Lendy did so much for my confidence in terms of just go in and have a crack.
Awesome.
So I had been invited to be part of a Queensland female tech cohort with Climate Salad. Yeah, and it was a huge opportunity, a beautiful network of women coming together. And our first night of meeting up, we went to the Queensland Library in Brisbane, and it was a huge event, big auditorium, and there I was going up on stage with all these people looking at me, and I'm like, okay, just don't faint. So it was super fun.
How many times did you practice that pitch?
Oh, I probably can't give you a number, but I did 2 nights in the lead up. I didn't want to overdo it, but I felt like, okay, the last 2 nights I can just crunch. I filmed myself quite a bit. Some of them, there was a few words you probably couldn't repeat, but I was very frustrated with myself. But I loved staying up late, doing something outside my comfort zone and pushing myself. That was so fun. I had been craving that. I wanted do something that makes me want to stay up late or wake up early
Awesome.
to push.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd found it. That was really cool.
So cool. And how did the pitch go?
Amazing. This sounds like a total like stroke my ego,
Oh my
but
God,
I
let it
literally,
happen. Yeah.
I was the only, I didn't make any mistakes out of everyone, which blows my mind because the whole time I practiced, I totally made mistakes.
Yeah.
But nope, none. Not one.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I was so fortunate that I had, I'd invited a friend, and he filmed the whole thing for me. And so I got to rewatch it. And sometimes when I'm feeling like I need a little like, you're okay, Kalena, I'll go and watch it. I'm like, I actually did a really good job. It's
That's
okay. Like I can
awesome.
do this. So yeah.
That's
That was fun.
awesome.
Yeah.
I think really important as well to be able, so important to be able to give yourself credit also where it's due, you know?
Have to.
Yeah.
Like you have to be your biggest cheerleader. That's the only way you can get through those tougher times.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what's one piece of advice or a great line, either you've heard on a podcast, maybe on some of the guests we've had, maybe in a book that you've read? What's something that that you still use in your day-to-day work or life?
It's probably not something that I've picked up so much with in a book or somewhere, but something that I've kind of built into just from my learnings is just be intentional. Be intentional with what you do, because if you can do that, you're coming from an internal place and it's going to come naturally.
Yeah. Do you have any kind of rituals? What do your rituals look like before we come in to record?
Yeah.
But before you go on, say to do something like a pitch, or before you do something that's going to scare you.
Yes.
What are your rituals? Do you have any?
I normally, when I'm feeling a little bit internally rattled or nervous, I like to go and put my bare feet on the grass.
Lovely.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a tree hugger, so I
Love that.
occasionally will hug trees.
Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah.
too.
Me too.
Yeah, I love
Are you a
nature.
hug tree hugger as well, Steve?
Yes.
It's actually whenever
That's funny, all three of us.
we bought when my husband and I have gone to buy houses, the last 2 times I've been out on property, I'll go out and I'll like put my hand on a tree and I'm like, this is the one. It's like, you haven't even seen inside yet.
I don't need to.
Yeah, that's probably going a little bit. But yeah, no, I
Yeah.
love to just be out, put my feet on the
Lovely.
grass and just, it's okay. And do some, breathing. It all comes back to the breath. So
Yeah, beautiful.
yeah.
There's also, because you grew up in Hawaii, did
Yes.
you not? Is there something in that as well, like a childhood spent outdoors and,
Oh, absolutely. Like in Hawaii, that you're always outside.
Right.
And it was I feel really privileged to have grown up in such a place. Now that I live in Australia, I'm like, oh, you guys didn't do this or that.
Yeah,
and it's
right.
like, oh, I had a really like adventurous childhood. That's
There's
so
no lava here, right?
No,
There's
right. Yeah. We did play with lava.
There you go.
Oh, that's so
Don't do
cool.
that.
That's so
That is-
cool.
It is very cool.
So cool.
Yeah, and like we used to do, like you could it's not hiking, but you're crawling through like lava tubes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And did you put a stick in the lava and watch it burn and
Yes.
stuff? Oh,
Yeah,
so
and you
cool.
kind of see what burns quicker
yeah,
and doing all,
all that stuff.
and like
yeah.
I think about it, I'm like, I don't even think I had shoes on. Like, because
we just like a disclaimer from the business game. We do not endorse playing with
no.
lava.
No.
don't do that. Please don't. Like, it was so illegal for us to be there. But locals sort of do this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that was
Cool.
certainly impacted and that community mindset too.
Right.
Hawaii's a very slow place.
Yeah.
It's speeding up a little bit, but still very slow when you go.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's certainly impacted who I am. So I need slowness to find my calm.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
And also we're in the Sunshine Coast of Australia right now. Sunny Queensland.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Hawaii originally. I'm from
Yes.
Sydney originally.
Okay, yeah.
Where are you from, Steve?
Brisbane.
You're from Brisbane. Okay, cool.
Not far.
We
Good.
used to come up here in the 70s on family holidays when it was all fibro shacks.
Oh,
And the lighthouse was the tallest building here.
oh wow.
So you've seen it fully transform. How
Yeah,
cool.
wow.
Yeah, wow.
Kalena,
Mhm.
what is? I feel like the lava fact was a really good one.
Yeah.
So maybe I've already answered this question, but what's one thing that people would be surprised to learn about you?
Oh, okay. I've got a really cool fact. Actually,
Let's hear it.
This
Ooh,
is
let's
this
hear
is
it.
Here we
this
go.
is I love this. So I actually met Buzz Aldrin. He was on
Oh,
this
no
first.
way.
Yeah, yeah. And that same day, I met President Ford and his wife,
Wow.
Oh my
Mrs.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mrs.
Madam,
Ford?
Mrs.
Yeah.
Ford, yeah, Madam President Ford. I don't know,
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
like, I don't know what
right,
you call it.
okay.
I was really young and I had like no fear. I was just all about questions and I knew that they were going to be at this event. And my parents sort of said, like, just stay calm, like, just stay with us, because their secret, the security is tight, right?
Yeah.
Somehow they missed me. I like went up and
wow.
cut the line and went and was speaking to Mrs. Ford. And then my parents lost me. And they're like, where's Kalena? And then they're like, oh no. And I was sitting at the table with
Sitting at the
with-
table.
Secret Service, Secret Service swarming.
just sitting there like chatting away, like, yeah. Anyway, so that was really
Wow.
cool. Yeah.
Well, do you know what? At the very beginning of this episode, we were like, tell us about your path to get here. And I think there we go. Look, that's it. Sitting at a table with the president.
Yeah.
Get you in the big chair of here, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah. And there you
Yeah.
got me here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Look,
that's
oh
a
my
fun
gosh,
one. I actually haven't
full
shared that
circle.
with many people. I don't even know if my husband knows about that one.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. That's a
Yeah.
really good one.
It was fun, yeah.
Yeah,
And at the time,
awesome.
I was really interested in being an astronaut, and so meeting
Oh,
Buzz Aldrin
wow.
was like,
so
yeah.
cool.
Turns out I'm not very good at science, so
Yeah, right.
it wasn't gonna work out.
All right, I think that's all we've got time for. Kalena, thanks so much for sharing your story with us today. And Lisa, thank you for being another excellent co-host.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you, Steve Plummer. Well, we'll see you next time on The Business Game.
To help support our continued mission to provide free, best-in-class advice from the world's most compelling business leaders, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss an episode. See you next Thursday. Thanks for tuning into The Business Game. If you like what you heard, make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn to stay connected. A big thank you to our major sponsor, SmoothX, for powering today's episode. And join us again on the next episode for The Business Game, a podcast that moves the needle.